So, Caroline, how does it feel up there?
Keep on trucking. It's really comfy actually, really comfy.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mog Toys build. In this episode and the next one, we will be installing Land Rover Discovery seats into the Unimog. Morning all. Today I'm going to start working on the new seats, installing them. And the first thing is to actually examine them, take them apart and see which bits we're going to use and which bits we are going to discard. Then the next step is to try to figure out a way to mount it to the vehicle. I'm going to have to make a base for it, and obviously it would be really handy if I could just levitate the chair, the seat in the air, and then take measurements from there. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But at least I have the old seats at hand, so I can measure from them and see if I could use them as a bit of a template. But anyway, so let's get on with it and get the seats out and examined. And so today's puzzle is to put that one into a retirement home and that one into active service. Now, as you might notice, they don't exactly look the same at the bottom there, where it matters. Yeah, stop giggling in the back there. But that one's got like a regular car frame undercarriage thingy, and that one has got a truck one. So I need to figure out how to make that seat fit where that one was. Yeah, so the original seat is attached with these 4 bolts here, and it's got like an arm that goes up to there. So I need to figure out which ones of these that I should be using, and exactly how the seat's going to be fitted. By the looks of it, the seat is fairly central, but not completely. I'd say that this is the center line, about there, rather than, so see that maybe? Yeah, so those are the holes, and center line is about there. So you can't have the seat obviously butting up to the gear stick, but it would be very nice if if we didn't use this bolt here, because if I wanted to make a box or something that goes under the seat, then that would be in a prime way there, preventing that. So let's see what we can come up with. Test sitting the seat. It looks quite alright. I can't really get it far enough that way to be completely aligned, but I think it's okay. It's got a bit of space on this side, and it's all the sticks move freely and all of that. So So yeah, we can work with this. So I think I'm gonna take measurements there, measurements on the sticks that I have placed under there, and then I'm gonna make some marks and things like that. And I'm gonna do this one very simple and very easy. I'm just gonna use the original base. That way this one is done, and we can continue with other things. That's how I'm propping it up, and my feet are nicely on the ground. That one's a bit far away. I haven't shown much of my fabrication before. I think there are a lot of videos out there that are very good in showing fabrication methods in general. But as it's playing in the background there, let's talk about it a bit. The tools I'm primarily using here is a bandsaw, a drill, a welder and a grinder. And that's pretty much what is required. You separate your pieces out with the bandsaw, you drill holes where needed with the drill, you use the welder to attach one part to another, and you use the grinder to detach and shape them. In this case, we are fabricating an adapter. It basically takes part A and attaches it to part B. Our specific scenario has got 4 threaded holes in the floor of the cab, and the seat has got 4 bolts sticking out. Somehow we need to connect those two together. Once we've figured out how things attach, we need to make sure that it's all strong enough. Triangles are the strongest shape, so what we aim to do is to create triangles in the spaces that do not have triangles. That will make it incredibly strong. Also, let your design evolve organically. If you need something at a specific point, just add it. There is no need to over-design a project like this. Sure, you can spend time in CAD and it will come out wonderfully, but you still might get it wrong. Sometimes time is a factor and you just need to get it done. Sometimes accuracy, precision is a factor, and then CAD might be the saving grace. In addition to the aforementioned basic tools, you also need tools that help you with the accuracy. You need measuring devices of various types, vernier calipers, rules and so forth. You need squares and angle finders, levels, bevel boxes. You need a scribe, and doing all of this work on a flat and level surface is a big help. With all of these tools you can transfer an angle from one place to another. You can make sure that you have maybe up to 1 millimeter accuracy on cutting on the bandsaw. You will have 3 decimal points in a millimeter accuracy on the thickness of something, and so forth. They make sure that when you are putting things together, they are as accurate as possible. But do keep in mind that the accuracy needs to be applied to the task at hand. If you are grinding down a camshaft, you'll need a lot more accuracy than when you're building a Unimog seat base. But then again, you need less accuracy if you are building a rubbish bin enclosure. You can do this project with a cheap stick welder, cheap angle grinder and handheld corded drill, for example. This would cost you about £100, $100, €100. You do not need a fancy TIG welder, a pillar drill, a disc sander, 3 angle grinders and so forth. However, nice tools and specialized tools make the work go faster, can make it easier, can add precision, but it can also make it a lot more fun. However, if you don't have these nice things, don't stress about it. You'll accumulate these tools over time.
Today Jock has been working really hard on fitting the new seats into our Unimog, and it's currently 8 PM and this is the first full trial fitment, and all in all it's pretty good. It's quite comfy, but we've already figured out a couple of modifications that we need to do. The whole seat is a little bit too far forward. You kind of bash your leg on the seat rail down here, as in that one, but the other side when getting in and out of the mog, so we need to move the whole thing back about yay much. And at the moment it's only tacked in place, but we can already see that we need to put a bit of extra cross bracing in. There's a little bit too much movement that probably won't be sorted out just by welding it solid, but all in all, pretty good.
Morning. Let's hope there's a bit better light here now so that I can explain to you what's going to happen now. Yesterday when I tried out the seat, I put some sticks about here and the front of the seat was on the stick. That worked quite well. However, somewhere that bit got lost, and now the seat is about that much further forward, about 50 millimeters, 60 millimeters, something like that. What I need to do next is to basically move these rails backwards. Luckily they're only tacked on enough so that you can sit on it, which means that if I add a little bit of bracing to the base in general, I can undo the tacks and just slide the top off, and that should give us the correct position. And the reason for needing to move the base backwards is because of this bit here. You probably can't see it, I'll show another angle, but this bit here sticks out from beyond the seat, and that means that we will be snagging our leg onto this on this one all the time. with this bar now at this position rather than further forward, this part here isn't as much in the way. You see, I can move my foot around here without that part hitting. So that's all good. Much better than it was. New seat is in. I still need to paint the base, but it's mounted, feels solid. I can move my legs around without kicking stuff on the floor or hurting myself. I guess that's a bit of a bonus. And yeah, so dark shirt, dark seat, not very photogenic. And then me, of course, but yeah. So that's about it. Let's see. I don't have CAS here to bounce on the seat, so I can't judge whether the seat base is solid or not, but it does feel more solid than it was yesterday. Remember, it was only tacked yesterday, and I've added 2 braces to it today. But yeah, it's nice and far back. It's all good. Feels very solid, feels very good. Okay, I thought that it was robust enough, but with a little bit of organic testing, it shows that it's probably good enough, but it's probably a good idea to make it a little bit stronger. So I'm going to put a brace at the front here, and then diagonal there, and then brace this rear spot here to there. So yeah, so nothing major, just a little bit of extra, removing a little bit of flex and bounciness from it. And sadly, this is where I'm going to love you and leave you for this time. The original edit was 45 minutes, so I think splitting it up in 2 is a good idea. Please click that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified when the next episode is uploaded. You wouldn't believe what happened next. If you like these videos more than just a thumbs up, then you can support us on Patreon. There's a link in the description. No pressure. Thank you. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being along on this bumpy ride. Hey, it's a Unimog, it's bumpy.